Donald Sterling, owner of the Clippers, if you did not know, had very racist comments that were leaked to TMZ this weekend. Actually, I think it was Friday, right?
Yeah,
Friday
I
or
think it was
Saturday.
Friday.
And it basically said he's telling his girlfriend, which I guess he's married, but he also has a girlfriend.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Which
Who's like
threw
half
me
his
off at
age.
first.
She's half.
When you're
yeah.
rich, you can do that, I take it. I mean,
He told her that he
so-
was mad at her for posting an Instagram picture with Magic Johnson, I believe, and that she should not associate herself with minorities or bring them to his basketball games.
Right.
Which that obviously, once that got leaked to TMZ, it blew up. NBA launched an investigation. And I got to say props to Adam Silver for not only how he handled it, but how quickly he handled it. Because
Absolutely.
what we've seen a lot of the major sports leagues fail to do is take their time. And he did not take his time on this one. It was swift and stern. And yesterday the punishment came out that Donald Sterling is banned for life, fined the maximum amount you can be by the NBA, which is $2.5 million. And he still technically owns the team because you can't just take the team away from him. He owns it, but he's going to be pressured. It sounds like we've heard from owners, we've heard from Silver, we've heard from, to quote Chris Broussard, multiple sources that every single owner in the NBA is behind this, and he's going to be facing heavy pressure to sell. So it looks like he's going to basically lose everything, but I guess make some money back on his team.
Yeah.
So let's go ahead and we'll start this. What are your guys' thoughts about the punishment, and is it fair? Is it just? Should it have been more? I don't know what more they could have done. Should have been less? Just let's go ahead and see what you guys got to say about Donald Sterling.
Yeah, I agree with you, Matt, that I feel like the punishment was basically Adam Silver did basically everything he could do. And so I definitely commend him. You know, for years we were talking, you know, before the show started, I've never really liked David Stern. And so for years, ever since they announced Adam Silver as his successor, I was always like, yes, I'm ready for him to get in. And I was always praying. And it's still early in his career, so I'm not going to act like he's going to be great forever. But I was always hoping that he wouldn't disappoint all the hope I had for him. Almost like he's my child or something. But I mean, yeah, but I'm happy for the decision he made, kicking him out for life. That's not something that I actually thought was going to happen. I thought, we was talking about, you said, Matt, you thought he was going to get away with it again because this isn't his first time with racial comments. So I thought they was going to say some crap like, an indefinite suspension, which indefinite, I mean, that could end tomorrow as far, because they don't give a time period for it. As far as Sterling's comments itself, I've actually taken the approach. I wasn't upset by it at all because, I mean, I know he was a racist before this. So, I mean, it didn't upset me. I was like, okay, that's what he is. And some other people knew. And these are people that knew beforehand what they're doing right now because it's on the public. They're jumping on it and pretending like, oh, this is a big deal. And by the time something else comes up, they'll forget all about this. So, I mean, it's whatever. But I've found people like, Bomani Jones, Mike Smith, Jamel Hill, they've been making a lot of jokes out of this.
Yeah.
So I've actually been finding this to be funny. Like, you don't want his girl to hang out with, black people at the games, but she's black and Mexican.
Yeah.
And I actually listened to the tape for the first time today. I wasn't going to, but I heard it in the podcast. It was actually kind of funny, listening to some of the audio clips. But I mean, you can't, like you said, you can't really take the team from them. And I guess the Board of Governors, supposedly, if they vote like a 3/4 of the vote, that they can kick him out. But he's going to fight it, I feel like, regardless.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you got to be ready for a fight, which of course, I mean, that's what he would do because a big part of this is that the audio comments were in private. That's not something that he said in a public place. So I heard a rumor today, which I'm not sure if it's true, but I heard that supposedly he asked his girlfriend to record conversations because he used to forget what he would say. I can't, of course, confirm if that's true. I didn't talk to my source. So I can't confirm if that's true or not. But I'm just going to go with, of course, he wanted those comments to be in private. So, I mean, that's obviously something he can use, when he takes this to court. But, like I said, I'm proud of what Adam Silver did. And I kind of actually wish a little bit that the decision, I like that the decision was quick, but I kind of wish that it waited a little bit just for this one reason. Because before the Warriors and Clippers game yesterday, I saw this plan that the Warriors supposedly had to boycott the game. They was going to let the ball tip and walk off the court. As far as I'm concerned, that's BS.
Yeah.
I honestly don't believe that they was going to do that. I think that now they said that because the decision was made, so now they just going to pretend they had all these plans. I kind of want to see if they was actually going to do something. And I mean, I honestly doubt that they would. But yeah, good job, Adam Silver. Racism isn't something that we should allow. I'm happy with the decision because, well, not even because I said because, but this is the thing. if we came on this, if we had a sports show immediately after these statements were made, I wouldn't have like no opinion on it because I had to have some days to to plan my comments properly. And I was thinking, in a league today where speaking out on gay rights, that's really something that a lot of leagues, been saying we support gayness. So I was wondering how would the NBA punish racism, which is kind of maybe step down a little bit because gay rights is elevated as the number one problem to fight. So that's why I thought it was a good stand that Silver made. But I feel like I'm repeating myself. Good job, Adam Silver, and most of the world will forget about this by the time next week starts, and then we'll move on to something else.
Yeah, I believe that we'll forget about it. I've read a little bit of the transcript. I haven't heard the audio. This weekend was way too busy for me to sit down and actually listen to it. Yeah. So I'm good with the punishment. I didn't realize $2.5 million was the most you could fine somebody. Mm-hmm. So at least I know the number now. I'm hoping that it being so quick doesn't come back and bite the NBA a little bit. I guess I'm going to play devil's advocate a little bit. Because I think Adam Silver needed to do something quick, and it was done properly. Yeah. But still, it's in a privacy, and then if he's going to fight, if they ask him to sell the team, if he has to fight for it, he's going to use this, and because it was in privacy, and the court shows that, and then this could come back that he sues the NBA, going like, you should have never fined me, should have never banned me for life. But if it all comes out that he has to sell, I don't think a lot of NBA fans are thinking of this right now. He's going to make a buttload of money.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So how is he really going to learn? Because I don't know how much he's bought the Clippers for.
I believe he paid, I want to say around $19 million, and the team is estimated to be $500 million.
$500, yeah. But they're saying even with the talent right now, that it could go from between $800 million and $1 billion.
Yeah, I heard that bid's up to $1 billion right now.
He's going to be okay.
Absolutely, yeah. Financially, he's going to be set.
I think this is where people are going to be. He's going to be okay, and I don't think a lot of NBA fans are thinking that right now. Because he got punished, because at the end of it, he's probably going to have about $1 billion in his pocket.
He's definitely going to get
and they're going like, oh, that's going to be outrageous. I'm like, well, you wanted to kick him out. You wanted him to sell the team. He's going to get the money. So good for Adam Silver, because all I've been hearing, and it's probably because I watch PTI every day, is that Adam Silver was soft.
That's all from Kornheiser.
All from Kornheiser. I haven't heard about him if he's tough now. But you know what? Good, because he needed to make a landmark decision. And too bad it happened in the NBA playoffs.
Yeah. And
hopefully it goes away, because I think the NBA playoffs might be good. Depends on who wins these first-round series.
Well, yeah. So, I mean, we'll get to that in a second. But at least for me, what I kind of found, I guess, funny from this, because we were talking before, and I told you guys I first heard about Donald Sterling back in 2009. I know it's been mentioned on ESPN a few times, but they had a cover story on him on ESPN, the magazine, and I was a sophomore in high school, nothing better to do in study hall. Sorry, Mom. And I sat for the whole study hall period, and I read the article on him, basically saying how he was a racist, a terrible owner, disliked by basically everybody in the NBA. But, I mean, you had to keep him around. He's one of the most oldest owners. He's been around. He's one of the most tenured owners.
He's
around since
82. He is the most tenured,
So, I mean, obviously he has some of the most power, the most veteran of the owners. And basically it said the Clippers suck because of him, because he doesn't want to spend money, he doesn't care, and he's a racist ultimately. And there's talking about how he's the worst person in the NBA. And that's when I first heard about Donald Sterling. And when we were driving back from St. Louis is when the comments broke, me and my girlfriend. And I was not surprised. She was like, oh, my God, what is this? How could you do that? I wasn't surprised because I knew who he was after reading that article and hearing about him over the years. So that's the first thing. And two, what I find funny or ironic about the situation is he's a racist in a league that's like 85% black, which, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. But what I've been reading a few articles and watching some of the stories, and apparently, though, why he hasn't been in trouble before, it's because he's done a very good job at covering his tracks, both legally and if you want to come at him for being a racist, he's always come back with, he's always had hired some of the most like African-American head coaches, the front office. I know Darius brought up the whole Elgin Baylor thing, who ended up suing him, I believe. Yeah. And Elgin Baylor lost in court. Yep. the lawsuit, but he's been one of the top when it comes to affirmative action type programs, and I think he's always kind of done that just to cover his butt and stuff like that. But I ultimately think it's good that he's out, and what I've been saying now, looking at it, if he does have to sell the team, at least for a basketball standpoint from the Clippers, this is the best thing to happen to him. Because until Chris Paul, Blake Griffin, and them got there, the Clippers were garbage for 30 years. And now that you have an owner, you get rid of an owner, you're going to get an owner who cares, who wants to make a difference, obviously, to replace Sterling. We've heard P. Diddy, Oprah, Magic Johnson, all these guys. But you're going to get an owner who cares, an owner who wants to build a winner, at least. Whether it happens or not, we'll see. But I think from a strictly basketball standpoint, this is ironically the best thing to happen to the Clippers is to get him out of there. It's just kind of sad that it had to happen in this way.